the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Christos Eristi. Christ is risen and ascended today. Truly, He is risen and ascended today as well. In this beautiful season of the church, there is always a Bible verse that, for me, it didn't make sense for a very long time. Think of this. Think of a dad is going to his family, is kissing the mom, he's kissing the kids, and they are in love so much, and he's telling them, just want to tell you that it is for your good that I am going away. It is for your good that I am going away. Does this make sense? Does it make sense? Because we they love each other, they care for, His presence is a key. But it is amazing when the Lord in John 16, chapter verse 7 is saying, but very truly I tell you, it is for your good that I am going away. It is for you, truly I am telling you, assuredly I am saying to you, it is for your good that I am going away. And the first thing that comes to mind, why, O Lord, you are going away, why you are ascending, why you are leaving us. We want you to be with us. And when you return back to the sayings of the fathers, they explain this dilemma. Saint Augustine said this. So why? Because the common sense will be saying, no, we want you to be there, so as whenever we see you, we are reminded, whenever we see you have this relationship with you, whenever we see you, we remind the good times, remember the good times. Saint Augustine said Christ's presence would impede the Spirit coming. If Christ was physically or didn't ascend, is not ascending, this will prevent the coming of the Holy Spirit. And this is what Saint Augustine is saying exactly. This he says, not because of any inequality between the Word of God and the Holy Spirit, but because the presence of the Son of Man among them would impede or prevent the coming of the Spirit. For the Holy Spirit did not humble himself as the Son did by taking on him the form of a servant. It was necessary, therefore, that the form of the servant should be removed from their eyes. The salvation is done and it is over. And this form of a bond servant is no longer going to stay because he finished the salvation, he's ascending to heaven, and he is coming again in the end of times. So it was necessary therefore that the form of the servant should be removed from their eyes. For so long as they looked on that form, they thought that Christ was no more than what they saw him to be. For so long as they looked on that form, when they see the Christ there by even in the glorified body, they thought that Christ was no more than what they saw him to be. So it is, what is the goodness? What is the goodness? That Christ will ascend and he will send us his Holy Spirit. And where is the goodness in this? And well, we should speak about this topic in the Pentecost. Think of this, the most famous basketball player, okay? I don't know who is now. LeBron. Does he have his boys? Does he has kids? Yeah, boys? Any boys? Yeah. Okay, so LeBron James is the best basketball player, and his son is going for tryout in the high school basketball team. And his son is panicking, and he's telling him, you know what, Dad, I will never be making it. I'm not like you. You are the best in the world. You are, but I cannot make it. So LeBron is telling him, no what, don't worry. I have a secret. I have a magic way that I will be inside of you. I will be inside of you. And when I'm inside of you, it is not you who are playing, it is me. Are you sure, Daddy, that you will be able to do this? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. So his son is going for tryouts, when Bron is going to tell his son, you know what, I hope you will make it. Will he lower the bar or raise the bar? Raise the bar very high, because it is not you. It is no longer you who is playing. It is me who is playing in you. And I think this is what we miss out in the whole spiritual life. That in our spiritual struggle, I think you got so who is going inside of us? The Holy Spirit. God himself is going, his Spirit. That he is working inside of us. So that's why he raised the bar. That's why the commandment in the New Testament is much more harder than the commandment of the Old Testament. Love your enemies. The second mile, the one who look for a woman with a lustful eye will have committed adultery with her in his heart. The bar is very high. Why? Because he is inside of us doing the work. And when we realize this, we are at ease, because all our struggle is cleanse me, remove a lot of me, so as you will be there, and this is increase in me, that he must increase and I must decrease. So it is good for us that the Lord will ascend. For the sake of the time, I will just share with you what Saint Cyril of Alexandria also said about why it is good for us that the Lord will ascend. Jesus lives so we may be glorified, so we may be followed with him. One day I was traveling and I had friends of mine in that country I was living at that was working in a big airline company. It happened that I met those who are working in that airline company in the airport, and so I greeted them and I was checking in and whatever. Then they were waiting, and they were doing a big, very long line. And I said, this is weird, why you are not checking in or getting in the security and move on? They said, no, we cannot. So I told them why. They told me, because we are waiting for the captain. Once the captain comes, he has the list of all the people who are having a security clearance. This is the crew. Are you there? Well, I lost you. Once the captain comes, he has a security clearance for all the crew. So once he stepped in, he gave the list, and everyone follows. No security checks, no passport check, nothing is happening. And this is simply it. We are waiting for the captain of our faith, the author of our faith, to make it. And here, what Saint Cyril of Alexandria, Jesus places us in the sight of the Father by departing into heaven as the first fruit of humanity. He is the captain, he is the author of our faith. For he ascended to heaven as our forerunner, as the inspired Paul also says, there is a man, he is truly the high priest of our souls, our comforter, and the propitiation of our sins, and as God and Lord by his nature, Jesus sits on his own Father's throne, and this glory is reflected even on us. So we are waiting for the captain to clear the security check path, so as whoever he has in the list, whoever is following him, whoever is there, and they would be having a part. But when we are following him, we need to give up our own will, our own direction, because it is very hard to follow someone, and even follow someone blindly. This is very tough, as if you are knocking down your mind and say, you know what, it's his will all the time. So it is good for us that the Lord will go away as he have told us, because of two reasons. The first reason, because he is going to send us himself, his Spirit, so that his Spirit will dwell on us, and by this he will work in us, he will work in our life, he will sanctify us, he will be calling us his children, as we do in the baptism, and also to be the forerunner or the captain or the author of our faith, that he will clear the path of ascension of all of us, all the human beings, so as when we make it, we have already the security clearance. If we have been following him wholeheartedly all our life, to him is the glory forever and ever. Amen.